Hey everyone, it's Cinema Lovers Incorporated, back at you again with another video, and today, as a part of Spooky Dookie Time, I am reviewing The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 1. This review will include spoilers, and I was fortunate enough to watch this new episode a couple days ago. I just wanted it to sink in, and yeah, so my opinions actually have changed a bit since I saw this episode. So, Episode 1. Originally, I thought this episode was fantastic. I thought it was a great return to form and started out the season beautifully. Upon thinking, it's still a good episode, miles better than Fear the Walking Dead, but it does have some problems. It's not perfect, and it still does have a lot of issues that plague the show, and they prevent the show from being fantastic. So, let's start out with the good, okay, the positives. The music is awesome, okay? Over the years, The Walking Dead just lost its musical score. I think after Season 3, the music just wasn't doing it for me. It just, there was nothing, like, amazing about it. It was just kind of like this background noise that they included. I mean, there were a couple instances where the soundtrack was good. For example, in the episode in Season 6 where they have to fight the horde of zombies that comes into Alexandria. No Way Out. I think that the music in that episode was fantastic and phenomenal, but other than that, it wasn't doing it for me. And Season 10 and Season 9, the orchestra, the score is so much better. It's just so memorable and awesome and just fantastic. I remember last year, the Pike scene, that soundtrack was probably some of the best in Walking Dead history. I'm serious. It was creepy and just magnificent. And the music in the Season 10 premiere is really, really good, okay? Another good thing is directing. The directing is miles better than the Gimple years. I mean, you have really awesome shots, really fast-paced shots, kind of like you're watching a movie. Not the best directing in the world, but miles better than, let's say, Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 and the Gimple years of The Walking Dead. You will notice right off the bat that the directing is stylish. The way they kill the zombies, the way things move, and just the way everything looks and everything's directed just feels like it's more professional because of Angela Kane. The show running just feels so much more professional with the directing aspect. Okay, another good thing I like is more screen time for Aaron. Aaron is always this character that is there. He gets a couple moments, but then he disappears into the background ever since Season 5. And I'm really happy that they're focusing more on Aaron. We get to see a lot more about his character in this episode, and he is a prominent role. Hopefully they don't kill him off now, because I feel like they're leading to his death. I don't know why. Because the actor does play in Marvel, and he's getting bigger in roles, so I hope they don't kill Aaron off. Another great thing is the cast, everyone. Michonne, Norman Reedus, Carol, everyone, the way they speak, it isn't perfect with the writing, but everyone speaks like real people when they see one another. They talk like friends. They talk like they actually are real human beings. Where in Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 and Walking Dead when Gimple ran it, they talk like aliens, where it just didn't feel natural. So Season 10, most of the dialogue feels natural, where the characters are interacting with one another, and it feels like it just flows perfectly. Another great thing is the locations. They look great, of course. The blood, the gore, the zombie makeup, of course, like always, is freaking phenomenal. And I like the satellite crash. I think it did a lot, and the fire was a really cool element that we've really never seen before. Them dealing with fire was really cool, and I was interested in that. And just the overall story of them trying to, you know, what are they going to do with Alpha? Are they going to fight the Whisperers, or are they going to just cower on their side of the border? And it's really interesting. So I like all of that, and it's just a return to form. It's not the greatest premiere, but it's a darn decent premiere. So now let's get into the bad that I didn't like. Okay, right off the bat, the beach scene. Now, it's not because it was short. I think the beach scene will disappoint a lot of people because it was so prominently featured in the trailer, and it looked like it was going to be this big action scene. No, it's just a training scene, and I just want to make this clear. I thought it was cool. I thought it was high budget and awesome. But if you start thinking for a second, they're training with real live walkers. Okay. In medieval times, and today too, people train with one another to get better, to improve. A person, they can train themselves and they can hold, they're not going to kill each other because they know that it's just training. These walkers don't know that this is training. This is not a game for them. They're hungry, flesh-eating monsters that wants to eat our group, okay? Our survivors are training on the beach against these zombies. And of course it goes wrong. The door busts down, the gate busts down, whatever it is, and the walkers spread out. Okay, so the issue I have with this is, what if the group screws up? Because this is a training course. They're not going to be the best. They're not all fighters. What if they slip up and screw up and a walker takes a chunk out of one of them and their defense is now down and they get overpowered? Think about that for a second. And I was really worried about this. When I heard about this walker scene, I was like, oh, please don't do this. And they did it. This is a training course. And it goes against everything The Walking Dead stands for. Remember in Season 3 where they had walkers and they were fighting with walkers in the arena? Well, they're not pets. They're not toys. Well, I guess, screw that. Now they are toys. We're using them as just training objects. These flesh-eating monsters that were so prominently featured in earlier seasons of The Walking Dead. They used to be so terrifying, so just vicious, and now they're just puppets. And that's disappointing in my personal opinion, because it could have been better. And I think they should have cut this out. I think they should have, instead of them training, I think it should have been them trying to get something out of that ship. It would have been a lot better. But the training course scene is my gripe. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of them training against walkers, because the walkers are freaking vicious. It's like you training against a group of pit bulls. You will probably win, but you don't know, because or a bear. Like if you put a bear in an arena full of people, it's the same exact thing, and that's just not smart. Another thing I do not enjoy about this episode is Rosita's storyline. So I guess she's had her baby now. They skipped over all of that, her giving birth, which is good because nobody really wants to watch another person give birth on this show. But it just doesn't do it for me. This triangle, this love triangle between Rosita, Eugene, Gabriel, and Sadiq. Okay, I just don't think it's doing it for me. I don't enjoy this storyline. It's just not good. I don't like it. It's just kind of goofy, cartoony, and they put it in there because they want to show Rosita taking care of a baby, but it feels more like a kind of a porno, to be honest, or a really bad baby commercial or something like that, or a really bad film, and I just don't like it. I'm not a fan of Rosita and all of these guys trying to win her over. It just feels like a love movie or a love film where it's just like, oh, it's a love triangle, they're going to have a threesome or an affair, and I don't like that, man. I'm not a fan of that story arc. Rosita, like I said, her punching and stuff, just not a good part of the episode. I'm not a fan of this arc. Now, I like Eugene. I don't like Sadiq, and Gabriel's alright, but I don't like them all together in this, triangle, them trying to take care of the baby now, and no. God, that weird music they chose in that part where she's punching and stuff, just not good. Another gripe I have with this episode is Carol and Daryl talking and wanting to leave. Now, the problem with this is them abandoning their friends out of nowhere. Okay, now I don't have a problem with people wanting to leave because, come on, you're going to think about that every now and then. You're going to question your motives and your beliefs and stuff. But everything they've gone through, this is a family now, okay? This is a family where you take care of one another. And there hasn't been a fight between them in years. Well, there has been, between the communities. But they're all together now. Everyone resolved their issues. So for Daryl and Carol wanting to abandon their friends out of nowhere is really stupid and retarded. Them going on the road by themselves. I mean, they think they're all going to die, and they think that their lives are just wasted. But think about this for a second. They haven't even mentioned any of the characters, Ezekiel or anything, or Michonne or Judith. I mean, the children. Think about all the kids. They don't even mention any of them. They just want to go on the motorcycle and drive off into the sunset. And it's not really clearly explained. It feels a little bit rushed, where they just put it in the premiere. And to be honest, it didn't need to be in the premiere, because you know for a fact Daryl and Carol are not leaving the show, okay? We know that. They are Season 1 characters. They're not leaving the group. And you know it's probably going to be resolved in the next episode. Carol's going to say, I want to stay, and they're going to end up staying, and it's just, it just doesn't need to be there. And I just find it kind of like idiotic that these two characters would just abandon their friends out of nowhere when the group needs fighters and the group needs to be a community. So I understand wanting to give up, but yeah. Another problem I have, and I hope it changes soon, I hope that this problem will be resolved later on in the next episodes, is that satellite. Now, the satellite dish crashes down, and I hope it's just not for an effect. I loved the scene where they're trying to put out the fire, them working together as a group, but this satellite, it needs to be explained. It needs to have an arc of its own, because if this satellite has nothing to do with the rest of the season, it's wasted potential and it's disappointing. So hopefully they start talking about this satellite, because this whole episode was hyping up this satellite. They were talking about it on the radio, and the satellite needs to be discussed in the next couple of episodes, because it links with the government and, further, things in the world. It needs to be resolved and thought of, and if they abandon that whole story with the satellite, it will be bad. So what did you think of The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 1? Let me know down below. I thought it was good. It had a lot of problems, but it had a lot of great themes as well. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, do whatever the heck you want to do, and goodbye. Bye, everyone!